Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Flame Emperor episode number 398 based on novel. So let's start. At this time, countless stones had already broken apart on the square, and one after another conspicuous cracks emerged from the square. The void distorted and burned, and the 7 color lotus seeds were quietly suspended in mid-air, a chain of reincarnation fire tens of thousands of feet in size, quietly crawling. Looking at the 7 color fire chain so close at hand, Yang Feng was shocked. Cold sweat and fear swept out uncontrollably, and even his face became extremely ugly. Break me. Before Yang Feng could make any move, Xiao Yang's voice, like a thunderous thunder, completely spread here. Xiao Yang's voice fell, and the 7-colored fire lotus completely drained Xiao Yang's last remaining vindictive qi, and immediately broke away gently, whistling away towards Yang Feng. For a time, on the 7-color lotus seeds, the gorgeous 7-color colors evolved into a dazzling luster, and the sound of space breaking up continued to sound, and the 7-color lotus seeds were surrounded by countless 7-color flame beams, like guards. Firmly protect it. And along the way, all the flowers, trees, and even the air that were touched by the 7-color beam of light were instantly turned into dust, and there was no way to fight back. Seeing this scene, Yang Feng shook his head suddenly, and finally underestimated this guy, but he knew that the most terrifying part of the 7-color fire lotus was probably the lotus seed itself. The blessing of the 7 holy flames is enough to threaten his life. Lock me up. With a raised arm, the profound fighting spirit in his body was like a long river, directly pouring into the chain of fire in the square, trying to compete with it. The fire chain burst out with a very harsh sound, and shot directly at the 7-color lotus seeds, and the surrounding space was directly pierced by it. Obviously, this guy's attack is by no means child's play. But the strange thing is that no matter how roaring and turbulent the chain of fire is, when it touches the whole body of the 7-color lotus seed, it is suddenly bounced away. Obviously, the power of the two is not on the same level after all. How is that possible? At this moment, Yang Feng's original dignified expression was replaced by a stunned expression. This was his strongest blow. If this level of attack was useless, I'm afraid. Want to run? Too late. Since you have grievances with our strong Xiao family, as a junior, I would be happy to give you a ride. By the way, since you are proud of your immortality, then I will beat you to pieces. 7-color lotus, bloom. Xiao Yang roared violently, the madness in his voice was hard to contain. Boom. At that time, the entire plaza suddenly shrank at first, and immediately stopped beating like a heart, and after the blink of an eye, it suddenly spread, and there were countless waves of flames that destroyed the whirl. Shocked by Xiao Yang's roar, and the countless 7-color beams of light pinning his body firmly, Yang Feng could only retract the 10,000 zhong chain of fire, trying to form a tyrannical defensive barrier around his body. The 7-colored fire lotus just exploded, and the 10,000 zhong chain of fire in front of Yang Feng was directly swallowed up by its 7-colored flames. Immediately, he stood on the execution ground like a criminal, allowing him to be slaughtered. Yan Feng's body was penetrated by countless 7-color beams of light, but because he possessed an immortal magic technique, there was no change in it, but the pores on his body suddenly shrunk, and the power of belief weakened a lot. Resist me. Seeing that the power of belief in his body was weakening, Yang Feng didn't dare to hesitate. In his old body, endless vindictiveness was vented, trying to protect himself. It's a pity that the power contained in the 7-color fire lotus far exceeded Yan Feng's imagination. After the continuous attack, the core energy of the 7-color fire lotus, like a white halo, broke away from the center of the explosion and swept directly towards Yang Feng. Above the sky, only a meteor-like white flame light group could be seen, with the flame breath of divine power, illuminating the entire square, and even the 2 dark red coffins, which trembled slightly. Boom boom boom. Seeing this, Yang Feng was helpless, a terrifying aura emerged, and then a mighty Sanskrit sound spread out completely, and with it, there was a heat wave that spread out. The scorching temperature and the divine breath. In just one breath, most of the hilltop plaza was destroyed. The empty space in the plaza, which was full of holes, was now distorted. However, the black stone and its seal formation were intact. Are you all right? Su Shuiying directly protected Xiao Yang with the blessing of her black lines when this attack spread, and immediately asked with concern. It's okay. Xiao Yang said reluctantly. This destructive explosion lasted for several minutes, and then it slowly subsided. However, as the aftermath of the battle dissipated, a bottomless dark abyss appeared in the plot where Yang Feng was located. At the entrance to the abyss, there are still some extremely hot flames remaining. Bang bang bang. Just when Xiao Yang and the two were hesitating, a dark red coffin exploded directly above the sky, and a dense white bone was turned into powder under this explosion. As expected, the guess is correct. Seeing this scene, Xiao Yang couldn't help but laugh. It seems that this so-called undead magic has many restraint methods. Xiao Yang is relieved now. By the way, where is Xu Shao? The next moment, Xiao Yang asked. Where is he? Su Shuiying heard the words, took back her holy flame, and immediately took Xiao Yang to a relatively safe place. What's the situation? Seeing this, Xiao Yang asked Xu Shao with his eyes closed, his breath rising and falling, and he wondered. He seems to have entered the realm of reincarnation. Su Shuiying guessed. Since that's the case. Xiao Yang heard the words and placed 10 seals around him in a row. Among them, the Do Chi soul formation was complete. After finishing everything, he held the ancient ruler behind him, and a smile appeared. It's useless. I just tried it. Seeing Xiao Yang's move, Su Shuiying shook her head. Crack. With a sound, the ancient ruler above Xiao Yang's arm shone brightly. Under the shroud of colorless flames and holy patterns, it directly cut Xu Shao's soul body in half in front of him, and countless vitality disappeared. Boom. Following Xiao Yang's move, the clouds in the sky of the square started to wriggle in a weird way, and then 3 figures fell one after the other. Feng Wanna, Yang Yang and Xu Shao. It's just that now the 3 of them are covered with scars, and even Feng Wanna's eyes showed a chilling aura when she saw Xiao Yang, and Xu Shao also shrank his pupils tightly and looked at Xiao Yang with great resentment. Roared heartrending, little bastard, I'm going to kill you. Holy flame burns the soul. It's over for Xu Shao. Xiao Yang didn't care about this, and with the last bit of grudge, he summoned Sheng Yang and violently burned Xu Shao's soul body with a sword and a second rank. For a time, a roar of ghosts and wolves spread out, and Xu Shao's breath dropped rapidly. There were faint signs of falling, and even the last dark red coffin above the sky, there were also cracks emerging. I'm afraid this time, things should end. Ah. The heart-piercing roar was slowly vented here. Suddenly, Xu Shao, who was beside Yang Yang, flew back to the 2 soul bodies with the momentum of thunder. The soul body that was cut off by Xiao Yang was spliced together again, but unfortunately he still underestimated the power of the holy flame and the ancient ruler. Little bastard, I will definitely not let you go next time. The blood-colored pattern had just returned to the soul body, and suddenly the 2 soul bodies showed signs of fusion, and even Xiao Yang's holy flame weakened. An eerie voice emerged. Seeing that Xu Shao was about to kill Feng Wanna, the key to the guardian in the past, the perfect 8-star Dozian Yangfeng, was directly suppressed by Xiao Yang, which was something Xu Shao never expected. With a sound, Xiao Yang imprisoned Xu Shao's second group's soul body, and 10 seals squirmed together. No matter how tyrannical he was, he couldn't break it. Tell me, what are these undead magic and resurrection magic? Xiao Yang enveloped the souls of Xu Shao's last 2 groups with holy flames and said slightly, with a rare touch of perseverance in his voice. Go and dream. Soul self-destruction. Xu Shao snorted coldly, the blood-colored lines directly transformed into countless energy, and then vaguely ignited the second group of soul power, ready to explode. Soul flame, swallow it for me. Xiao Yang snorted coldly, and a strange ghost-faced soul flame spread out from the amber flame. Half of Xu Shao's soul power was completely annihilated. The guys in the Soul Palace are just a group of old men. They will naturally understand what I am doing in the future. After Xu Shao said all of this, his body actually trembled, and then the blood-colored lines suddenly burst out with a faint force, turning into a pool of blood. That short-lived power not only contains the power of faith, but also the power of foreign evil races. Damn. I'm careless. Although Xiao Yang made his move in time, he was still a step too late. However, this Xu Shao is the body of the soul, and there is no corpse. I am afraid that this time it is a real fall. Even this kind of strange resurrection magic cannot be completely resurrected. Of course, Xiao Yang has no problem with this kind of problem, is also half understood. Haha, the strength of the guardians of the Xiao family, today can be regarded as a taste, it is really extraordinary. As expected of the guardian known as the steward of the Xiao family. At this moment, with the complete fall of Xu Shao, the quiet Yang Yang's body became vaguely illusory, and immediately smiled, a sense of vicissitudes emerges. This is. Su Shuiying wondered. The caster should be Xu Shao. Now that the caster is dead, this sorcery is on the verge of collapse. I can't imagine that it can kill the caster because of sorcery. But what does this guy seem to want to tell us? Xiao Yang murmured, and even Yang Yang's eyes no longer had the violence of the past. Instead, there was a touch of rare of softness. If that's the case, then get out of here, you are not welcome here. Foam Wanna heard the Xiao clan 2 people in Yang Yang's mouth, and the chilling air became more arrogant, and snorted coldly, with a dissatisfied look. Hey, although I'm about to disappear, it's just because of my mind. I advise you here to be careful of the center of the human world and the world. And this kind of resurrection magic, according to my memory when I woke up, it's not just the few of us. Of course, the Soul Palace and Soul Clan today seem to be very different from the past, but I can't say it specifically. I'm afraid you still need your own. Go and explore. Today's Soul Palace is no longer the Soul Palace. It's like some big man is controlling and guiding. Also, the relationship between your Xiao clan and the Guardians, I am afraid that some people are deliberately provoking. I hope you don't fall for it. Yang Yang pretended to be lofty and said, obviously his long-cherished wish was only to compete with the strong Xiao clan. Fighting against each other, but fighting against Foam Wanna today, let him resolve all these worries, and when he completely fell, he couldn't help but say to the few people in front of him. Because the Xiao clan is a giant race from ancient times to the present, Yang Yang can be regarded as a deadly enemy, but even so, he is not the same as the Xiao clan's decline. Too much. Die. Hearing Yang Yang's words, Foam Wanna raised her hand slightly, and an extremely cold arrow of ice burst out, piercing through the void and hitting Yang Yang easily. With a sound, Yang Yang's body and coffin turned into powder all over the sky and disappeared here. At the same time, this time, the plan also ended with Xu Shao's fall. The other guys who were resurrected also disappeared with Xu Shao's fall, but why was Xu Shao able to summon and resurrect several people? Why can the resurrection magic be realized? All kinds of mysteries are also submerged underwater. For a time, this mountain area where the Guardians live has regained its due tranquility, but these few days of battle, I am afraid it will take a lot of time to recover. At this time, the top of the mountain was on the plaza, and the breeze was blowing. On the entire mountain plaza, there were only 3 people. The 3 faced each other quietly. No one spoke first, but the other 2 were aware of the turbulent energy in Foam Wanna's body. The evil spirit, and the source of this evil spirit is clearly Xiao Yang. Mother. After a long time, Su Shuiying spoke softly. She knew the character and resentment of the mistress, and also knew that once Xiao Yang's true identity was revealed, she would probably die without a place to be buried. Relief. Shuer, go back, I still have something important to know with your friend. Foam Wanna's body slowly turned her back to the past, and an unquestionable and majestic voice came out. You go. At this moment, looking at the mistress with such a determined attitude, Su Shuiying came to Xiao Yang and spoke slightly. I won't go. Xiao Yang shook his head and said, although he has little vindictive energy left in his body now, but the matter has reached the current stage, obviously as a descendant of the Xiao family, Xiao Yang has no shirk. But then you will die. Su Shuiying couldn't help roaring. Xiao Yang helped her several times. She must not be a ruthless and unrighteous person. Her eyes were red. She obviously couldn't understand why Xiao Yang would question this. But I have to do it. If you want to ask why, it's probably because I'm a man. And he's still a descendant of the Xiao family. Xiao Yang's voice was low and contained a rare calmness, which drifted away for a long time. As Xiao Yang's voice fell, a murderous aura that suffocated Xiao Yang suddenly solidified the entire void on the old man in front of her. Boy, do you know where this is? Foam Wanna's beautiful eyes flashed with cannibal-like anger. She pushed Su Shuiying behind her in one fell swoop, and immediately said to Xiao Yang, this place isn't the place where the guardians of our Xiao family live. Xiao Yang turned his eyes away without dodging, without the slightest fear in his eyes, and said softly. Xiao Yang knew that if he did not do this, he would be unable to explain it clearly in his lifetime or even countless reincarnations, and now, both the things guarded by the guardians of the Xiao clan and the information he knew were all urgently needed by Xiao Yang now. You can't find death. Hearing Xiao Yang's contemptuous words, Foam Wanna became so powerful that a reincarnation pressure descended directly. With a sound, there was not much vindictive energy left in the body, and it was suppressed by the pressure of samsara. Xiao Yang's footsteps became heavier, and he sank a few meters. For himself, this level of power, if not for Xiao Yang's blessing of the dragon god transformation, I am afraid that it would have been crushed into powder. Mother, be merciful. Xiao Yang is the biggest contributor to this catastrophe. If Xiao Yang hadn't stopped a guard who was in the early stage of the 8-star Dozian and obliterated the completeness of the 8-star Dozian, I'm afraid we would have been completely defeated by the Soul Palace powerhouse. Seeing the mistress so angry, Su Shuiying hurriedly pleaded for mercy. Her voice there were some tender fluctuations in it. Have you forgotten the rules of our guardians? Hearing Su Shuiying's voice, Feng Wanna's momentum did not diminish at all, and at the same time, it also acted on her delicate body and roared. It just made him not expect that Su Shuiying, who used to be aloof in the past, would actually plead with her for an outsider. The relationship between the two may not be so simple. Anyone who carries the blood of the Xiao family, kill without mercy. Su Shuiying gritted her silver teeth and said solemnly, but the power above her body slowly wriggled. But mistress, is the Xiao family really as abominable as you say? Xiao Yang is also a descendant of the blood of the Xiao family. Why does he feel so different from the people of the Xiao family that you told us about? At this moment, Su Shuiying stubbornly asked step by step. So, they should be damned. Feng Wanna naturally wouldn't let go of such a great opportunity. With a sudden grasp of her palm, a force of ice that invaded the soul suddenly burst out, and with a monstrous momentum, she faced Xiao Yang. Whistling away. Boom. With a loud voice, the blue flame and the black flame intertwined violently, evolving into an energy barrier, trying to protect Xiao Yang. No need. Seeing this, Xiao Yang shook his head weakly, and immediately stretched out a hand, crushing Su Shuiying's flame barrier in an instant. This kind of thing obviously had to be done by himself. You. Seeing this, Su Shuiying let out a coquettish cry. She knew very well that her mistress hated the Xiao family, so Xiao Yang might be looking for her own death. Feng Wanna's withered palm stopped abruptly when it was several meters close to Xiao Yang. For a time, Xiao Yang's whole body froze, and cold killing intent swept out. Aren't you afraid that I will kill you? The palm of the hand was still floating in front of Xiao Yang with a monstrous momentum. Immediately, Feng Wanna's hand was heavy, and the other hand was below zero. In an instant, there will be no bones left. The descendants of the Xiao clan, came here this time on the orders of the seniors of the Xiao clan to come to resolve the grievances between the two clans. Xiao Yang said with a numb scalp and a trembling voice, obviously this level of power, that kind of coercion alone is enough to shatter Xiao Yang's body. Drops of sweat dripped uncontrollably, and even in the body, countless powers suddenly became surging. Even such a noisy power, it smelled a real breath of death. Mother! Su Shuiying's beautiful eyes contained a hint of determination. Obviously, if it wasn't for Xiao Yang, their guardian would definitely face the danger of destruction this time, and this time, no matter what, she would definitely protect him. Enough. After a while, the power on Feng Wanna's palm slowly dissipated, and then the voice was extremely angry, and she turned around gently. You go, otherwise I will really kill you. Feng Wanna seemed to be trying her best to suppress the anger in her body, and muttered. I do not go. Although I don't know what happened between the Xiao clan and the Guardian, I believe that our ancestors of the Xiao clan will never be ruthless and unrighteous. This time, I came here with the determination to die, to resolve the grievances between the two clans. Whether it is life or death, seniors can do it. If I can use my life to wash away the grievances between the two, the younger generation will never give up. As Xiao Yang spoke, the blood of the dragon race in his body boiled, and even an extremely ancient scale flashed out, making Xiao Yang stubborn and directly resist the power of reincarnation. At the same time, on the mysterious ancient map hidden in the deepest part of the body by Xiao Yang, a touch of energy that surpassed the heavens and the earth slowly overflowed and slowly condensed into a phantom. Do you really think that I dare not kill you, old man? Why don't you ask them what your Xiao ancestors did? Instead, they came to our guardian's territory to spread the wild. Feng Wanna was so excited by Xiao Yang's trembling roar was like a volcanic crater, intensifying and threatening to erupt at any time. I'm not a generation that doesn't distinguish between grievances and grievances. I have given you a chance, but since you are courting death, then you can't blame me. Ice Soul Talisman. Seeing Xiao Yang walking towards him step by step, there was a constant murmuring from the corners of his mouth, and a strange force of ice slowly formed around Feng Wanna's chest. A beautiful ice pattern. Above the ice pattern, there is a terrifying coercion that transcends the world. Crack. Xiao Yang saw this, and the power in his body instantly revolved, his eyelids became very heavy, and a drowsy exhaustion swept out, but it was still under tyrannical pressure. Right went with Feng Wanna. Xiao Yang, let's go. Seeing this scene, Su Shuiying was in a panic, and she was directly entangled in two-color flames, trying to win a chance for Xiao Yang. She knew that an attack of this level, not to mention the mere 7-star fighting immortals, is even a strong samsara. Those who are afraid will only have an eclipsed end. Ha ha. I'm a descendant of the Xiao family, but it's not your turn to tease you like this. Just as the crisis of death swept his heart, Xiao Yang's whole body was suddenly enveloped by a soft flame, the the flame was colorless and transparent like sunlight, but that the power is beyond heaven and earth. That is Xiao Clan Patriarch. At this moment, Su Shuiying stood there blankly, looking at Xiao Yang's head, the illusory figure, but she felt a little loss. That feeling, even if it is as strong as Feng Wana, in front of it, it is just as weak as a newborn baby. What kind of strength is that? In the mountain range where the guardian lives, there is a stone wall. On the stone wall are clearly depicted many figures of the Xiao family. Among them, the figure of the Xiao family patriarch is the most magnificent. At the same time, this guy is also the guy that Feng Wana hates the most. Xiao Yuntian. Looking at the phantom that appeared above Xiao Yang's head, Feng Wana's pupils shrank tightly, and an extremely terrifying anger erupted like a volcano. A large part of Feng Wana's hatred of the Xiao family came from this Xiao family patriarch. As for the specific reason, Feng Wana did not tell the guardian. Hey, little guy, you really have the guts. Listening to Feng Wana's roar, the phantom old man first smiled at him. He didn't expect Xiao Yang to finish it so quickly. Senior, you have hurt your descendants. Xiao Yang forced a smile and replied, obviously Xiao Yang didn't know that the patriarch of the Xiao clan had a trace of power left in him, otherwise he wouldn't have to fight so much. It's true that we were wrong about what happened at the beginning. I'm sorry, Xiaofeng. The phantom man smiled lightly, and then looked at Feng Wana who was in anger. His voice was full of sincerity, as if he was really admitting his mistake. Xiao Yuntian, what qualifications do you have to step in here? What right do you have to say sorry? At the beginning, we were the guardians, thousands of elites, helping you Xiao clan to maintain order in the clan with all their hearts and manage countless vassal races. But what about you? It became more and more intense, and it had a vague tendency to break the sky. Its voice became hideous, her chest heaved violently, and she roared. She wanted to smash Xiao Yuntian into 10,000 pieces. I don't know the specifics of what happened at the beginning, because after the end of the war between heaven and earth, we were busy dispersing around, going to clear the residual evil of the extraterritorial evil clan in our respective realms. When we turned around, the guardians were dead and injured, exhausted, and we just wanted to find the murderer, but were attacked by a mysterious powerhouse. So, Xiao Yuntian's phantom voice contained a deep self-blame and a hint of hesitation, as if all this was done by someone else's calculations middle. At the beginning, the Xiao clan paid a very heavy price to deal with the extraterritorial evil clan. After the end of the First World War, after the power of the extraterritorial evil clan was suppressed and expelled, Xiao Yang suffered an unprecedented attack. Whether it was a vassal race or a guardian, none were spared. Not sure. Our guardian lineage did our best to rule the countless vassal racial forces for your Xiao clan, but in the end they were all executed by you. Am I wrong? Feng Wana pressed hard step by step, roaring. In the voice the monstrous anger contained in it is also difficult to contain. In the beginning, whether it was our Xiao clan or the guardians, I always felt that something was wrong, because it was too strange, I suspect. Xiao Yuntian spoke softly, trying to calm Feng Wana's anger. You doubt. Don't doubt it. It was none other than you, Xiao Yuntian, who led the army to attack and kill our guardian back then. Behind Feng Wana, there were thousands of cold runes, surpassing too many forces in the world. Will instantly turn into dust. Impossible. There must be some misunderstanding in this. Xiao Yuntian heard the words. The phantom body was also suddenly shocked, and there was a hint of contemplation in the dark pupils, and he denied it directly. As the patriarch of the Xiao clan, he leads countless powerhouses, and is in charge of the order of the clan, but he knows that no one in the Xiao clan can do something that is diabolical. Impossible? Among our guardians, several great masters of samsara were personally beheaded by you. Countless of us saw it with our own eyes. When they fell, they personally confirmed your strength. Whether it is strength or appearance, they are exactly the same as you. What's your quibble now? Feng Wana roared. The cold rune behind him has been brewed, and he directly questioned. At that time, the patriarch of the Xiao clan brought some elites and attacked them at night. At that time, she was just a baby in the swaddling clothes. Countless flames and blood spilled out, roaring and crying, and even the remaining guardians. Among them, countless close relatives fell in that killing. Damn, you are too angry now. I'm afraid this matter can only be discussed in the long run. I won't let you let this attack go. Xiao Yuntian shook his head slightly, and immediately said, he knew that Feng Wana was furious now. No matter what she was talking about, she wouldn't listen, but it was clearly impossible. Do it yourself. No need, this hatred never ends. As long as I, Feng Wana, live in the world for one day, I will kill all your descendants of the Xiao family. Suffer to death. Feng Wanna's voice was extremely sharp, and then the ice rune behind her shook gently, projecting it directly at Xiao Yuntian above Xiao Yang's head. In an instant, the situation changed color, and countless cracks in the size of 10,000 zhong emerged, and the void was directly twisted and shattered by it, and a touch of power shocked everyone's hearts. What the is going on here? Xiao Yang heard the words and looked at the two who were fighting in the sky, and was immediately confused. The guardians of the Xiao clan are like housekeepers, helping the Xiao clan manage the countless vassal races in the lower realm, but why did the Xiao clan kill them? Is there any misunderstanding in this? Or did someone do it maliciously? But it can cause misunderstandings or even misunderstandings among the great masters of reincarnation. Is there really that kind of power or divine object in this world? Mistress, you have also seen Yang Yang's resurrection immortality sorcery just now. The grievances from 10,000 years ago are very likely to be a misunderstanding. After a while, Su Shuiying frowned and roared loudly. The family also hates it very much, but now with Xiao Yang's actions and Xu Xiao's appearance, she has regained a lot of sanity. Fall for me. At this time, Feng Wanna couldn't listen to any poison. The extremely cold ice talisman, like an ice flower, bloomed completely in a very gorgeous appearance. In an instant, the entire void was completely shattered, and countless cracks emerged one after another. The rest is up to you. At this moment, Xiao Yuntian slowly shook his head, and his body suddenly swelled. Protecting Xiao Yang and the two in one fell swoop, he muttered. The aftermath spread for a few minutes before it was completely over, and in the entire space, a breath of awakening like a giant dragon emerged from the shattered void. There are many young people who have just come out of the retreat, but more of them are old people, even 7-stars or even 8-star fighting immortals. There are several. At this moment, they were suspended in the air, their eyes slowly looking towards the top of the mountain, and even when they saw Xiao Yang's body, a shocking killing intent swept out. That's... Several of the guardians who had just woken up looked at Xiao Yang's weak body with bright eyes, and a familiar aura filled their hearts. They are very familiar with that kind of breath. It is clearly the breath of the Xiao clan. Mother! Not long after, dozens of guardian figures appeared on the top of the hilltop square at the same time, and said softly, but their eyes were staring at Xiao Yang with a vicious look, wishing to eat Xiao Yang raw. Wake up all the guardians and jointly punish the people of the Xiao clan in front of you. Feng Wanna shook her head slowly. Obviously the attack just took a lot of strength, but now the hatred for the Xiao clan has been reduced a lot, just because of there are a lot of guardians behind him, it's hard to say it clearly. Mother, this matter may be very strange, I hope you think twice. As Feng Wanna spoke, Mo Ziyi took the initiative to resign for Xiao Yang. Mother, things are definitely not what we imagined, why don't we go to the underworld to investigate things clearly? Su Shuiying pondered. As guardians, they are naturally aware of the relationship between the Xiao family and the underworld. Isn't the underworld so easy to step into? I've made up my mind, let's do it. Feng Wanna finished speaking, her palm was raised, and she pointed at Xiao Yang lightly, and a touch of ice force immediately bound Xiao Yang. Xiao Yang only felt that his body trembled, and even his soul was frozen by it. Senior Feng, I believe you are a sensible person. Senior Xiao Yuntian just said that even though the leader of the group who killed the guardian is exactly the same as him, the Great Thousand World has become too big, and there is no guarantee that there is any god. Things can have this kind of weird power. Xiao Yang said. What happened just now, like this? As Xiao Yang's voice fell, Su Shuiying said everything that had just happened to the dozens of people behind her who were very hostile. Are we really deceived? Will there be any hidden feelings in it? Su Shuiying just finished speaking, and the eyes of the strong men also turned to face each other. If Senior Feng feels that the anger in his heart is hard to dissipate, the junior is willing to bear this anger alone. Xiao Yang spoke slowly, with a rare calmness in his voice. Fortunately, these guys are the guardians of the Xiao family, and the Xiao family is ashamed of them. Otherwise, with Xiao Yang's character, once the power of the Holy Flame Demon is displayed, even if it is as tyrannical as Feng Wanna, she will be buried with her. Mother, what Xiao Yang said is reasonable. After all, there are such great powers as Xitigaba King Bodhisattva in the **** world, and they all have phantoms in their hands that ordinary people can't recognize. Giggle. Since Xiao Yang said so, it's better to make an agreement to expose this grievance and wait for the truth to be revealed in the future. It will not be too late for a complete liquidation. Su Shuiying had a clever move and defended Xiao Yang. What do you think? At this time, Feng Wanna's rage in her heart also weakened a bit. Thinking about it carefully, it seemed that it was just as they said. The death penalty is exempt, but the living crime cannot escape. One move doesn't work, 3 moves, after all, we don't want to crawl under a guy who has no power to hold a chicken. After a few dozen people behind him discussed it, they said in unison. The descendants of the Xiao clan, the younger generation, are willing to accept the 3-stroke appointment of the seniors, in order to vent the fire in the hearts of the seniors. Seeing this, Xiao Yang hurriedly opened his mouth when he saw that things had turned around, but still muttered to Xiao Yuntian in his heart. Why bring such drudgery to yourself? Okay, can. Boy has courage. Hearing Xiao Yang say so, and adding that Xiao Yang had paid a great price for them just now, everyone also said for a while. Marvin Yi, the first move is up to you. Feng Wanna nodded lightly and said to a seemingly lean middle-aged man behind her. En. The man behind him heard the words, nodded slowly, and walked out immediately. Under Marvin Yi, the suzerain of the Yi clan, and the mid-stage strength of the 8-star fighting immortals, if brother Xiao Yang can take this blow from me, all the grievances will vanish. In the future, Mrs. Yi will also let him be dispatched. The man who walked out of the crowd, in blue robes, exuded a rather elegant aura, like a scholar. The ancestor of this guy fell under the hands of Xiao Yuntian, but due to the many mysteries now, he was relieved. Yes. Xiao Yang couldn't help but wonder. There are only 10 guardians who live here now, and most of the others are the leaders of some tyrannical races under the vassal of the Xiao clan. Although they are hidden, they still have the absolute right to speak once they return to the sect. Mistress is here. Help you. Seeing this, Su Shuiying couldn't help but smile slightly, and sent a voice transmission to Xiao Yang's soul. Humph. Seemingly aware of Su Shuiying's actions, the mistress frowned and snorted coldly. Su Shuiying grimaced at him and said happily, Senior, let's do it. Xiao Yang untied the ice shackles on his body and said after moving a little. You have just ended the war now, so today is a bit. I think it might be better to pick it up tomorrow. Seeing Xiao Yang like this, Marvin Yi frowned and said with a smile. Thank you for your kindness, Senior Yi, but you don't need to worry. Xiao Yang smiled slowly. Okay. Has domineering, worthy of being a descendant of the blood of the Xiao family. Pick me up. Harin Tianhong. As he spoke, a delicate jade flute emerged from Marvin Yi's palm, put it to his mouth, and used both his hand and his mouth. One after another of refreshing and pleasant rhythms filled the entire peak square. This Mr. Yi is actually a powerhouse of the sound attribute. Seeing this, Xiao Yang's pressure increased greatly. He only felt that countless energies were being deprived of his body, and a dizzy feeling spread throughout his body crane tone. Go. Not long after, countless green rhythm energies instantly formed a green crane shadow, reaching a height of thousands of meters, with an unparalleled Xeon aura, and immediately waving the huge crane wings covered with countless notes, beheading Xiao Yang. Dragon God's first transformation, second transformation, third transformation. Seeing this, Xiao Yang displayed the Dragon God within his body, and his body's defense was greatly increased. Even the scales of the Underlords quietly lay down on their arms, forming a path and impregnable terror defense. Boom boom boom. A muffled thunder-like voice hit Xiao Yang directly, leaving countless horrifying blood-colored ripples, but this Harin didn't hold back for long before Xiao Yang broke through. What a perverted kid. My Mrs. Yi, I am also willing to help you again. Seeing Xiao Yang's appearance as if he was unscathed, Marvin Yi smiled cheerfully. Junior thanked Sect Master Yi. Xiao Yang nodded and smiled, but his body became a little disordered because of the sound of the crane. Among the Guardians, there is a very high prejudice against the Xiao family, and the 2 diehards are the most difficult to deal with. They are the ones you will deal with next. Yang, Elephant Jiazong, and Wan Yuan Gui. Seeing Xiao Yang's victory, Su Shuiying said through her soul transmission. This guy seems to be releasing water. It seems that the real trouble is still behind. Xiao Yang nodded slightly to Su Shuiying to express his gratitude. But even Xiao Yang didn't know, when did this girl treat her so well? At first, it wasn't that he wanted to fight and kill, and he looked resentful that he was abandoned by the children of the Xiao family, but now he has become such a small family Jasper, which really made Xiao Yang dumbfounded. The first move is so simple, I am afraid that the next 2 moves are the real highlight. This video will end here.